Good evening, TC.
Good evening, Gabby.
And welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Currans, Football Podcast. Steady away, TC. And by the way, Happy New Year. It's the first one we've done since before Christmas.
To all our listeners, yes, it is.
It is, and it's been some time. We've had a bit of, I was a bit off colour last week. I had a chest infection. I was coughing and spluttering and couldn't possibly do a podcast. It would be inaudible. You've suffered with a couple of those last year as well. We had to cancel during the season, but we're up and away now. And before we get into the podcast, I do just want to harp on the Boxing Day massacre, because you did go to Hillsborough with Mark Smith and in front of an audience of many Wednesdayites told the story of 1979, the Boxing Day massacre. So how did it go?
It went really well, and
Yeah.
obviously the club have got some great feedback from it. So, we're really pleased with it.
And could be another one in the pipeline as well, because if the club's pleased with it, the 1979 team will always be iconic at Sheffield Wednesday. So watch this space. They might be doing some more of them. I have to add to that as well, I am doing the podcast in my Currans 79 t-shirt as well. What have you sourced for us? I mean,
Just before it was to moment,
yeah.
You did Duncan McKenzie, didn't you?
I'm speaking to Duncan. I've spoken to Duncan. What a great lad,
Right.
by the way. He is a great lad, isn't he?
I told you, didn't I? Fantastic.
Yeah, he is a great lad. And we're going to be recording the podcast next Thursday.
Right, I thought you'd done it now, so well, I got you the number, so I'm glad you're willing to do the podcast. Fantastic. That's all I wanted to know. But I thought you'd done it because I saw you post something.
Yeah, I've just posted a few things up about Duncan. Again, like many, I had so many heroes in the days of growing up and watching superstar entertaining football players, unlike today, players that like to play with flair and guile, take risks. And some of the pieces that I've actually posted up of Duncan, I mean, some of it is that assist for Billy Bremner at Old Trafford was phenomenal. He flicks it up, overhead flicks to Billy Bremner. The pass to Johnny Giles, he's ghosted past a couple and put a precision pass through for Johnny. If he'd have probably hit it first time, Leeds would have scored. But so many magic moments that Duncan produced. And I'm in the middle of reading his book, which is a fantastic read. And, not just a superstar of these shores. When he went to Anderlecht, he was a massive, massive success. And Ariane even invited him to join the Dutch team that would go, a squad meet-up for the 76 Nations League when Rinus Michels was the gaffer, and he says to Duncan, you got your boots, come and join in. So McKenzie there was training with that total football team of Holland with his two pals, Robbie Renson, Brink and Ariane.
When we analyse players like Worthington, these type, the Continentals absolutely adored them.
100%.
And they would love to have had them. Yet, with England, we always call them problem players.
We ruin them.
Mavericks.
Mm.
They didn't ruin them. Just lied about them.
Yeah, well, we did ruin them because we never give them a grass to play on.
I know exactly what they did.
Yeah.
They lied about him. I mean, Duncan McKenzie is a very, very intelligent guy.
Yeah, he is, yes.
I think he's about 9 O levels and about 3 A levels done.
And one of them was French. And when he went to play in Belgium, within 3 months, he was speaking fluent French. As you say, a very, very intelligent man. Could jump over a Mini or a Jaguar or any car that you like.
You see, that was another thing. And Duncan will tell you this himself.
Yeah.
Some other players, found it fascinating. He could do things like that.
Mm.
Then managers hated players like Duncan doing things like that. They didn't like it. They did not like it.
No.
And what is wrong with it? Having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could get injured.
Mm.
Yes, he could be out. He could be out for a long time.
Mm.
But you could get injured driving your car into training.
Absolutely. I mean, and throwing a goal, he could throw the golf ball. The the length
Full length.
of Ellen Road. I mean, he had a bet with Norman Hunter. Norman says, "I bet you can't throw that golf ball over that stand." And in the book he said, "You should have seen Norman's face when it whizzed straight over the top of it." I mean, it was just incredible. But at school, he was
Lovely guy, absolutely so down to earth, full of energy, full of fun,
yeah.
brilliant, and a great after dinner speaker.
Yes, yeah. Very comical, very dry, very witty, and also probably the only player that played in 2 cup finals but didn't receive a medal.
Right, I can't remember that. What was the
1977, 77, the League Cup final against Villa, which
I'm going to say Villa got a bit League Cup final.
they played
Well,
in
they're
the
both League Cups.
Yeah, that they played in the League Cup final at Wembley, which the most memorable moment, Dennis Mortimer told me this, was trying to look for a spur that one of I think his Grenadine guards had lost. So the kickoff was delayed while the players were looking for this spur on the Wembley pitch. That was about the most standout point. It was a damp squib, the final. The replay was a little bit better. Duncan played in both of those. But for the replay, the second replay at Old Trafford, where Villa won 3-2. Duncan wasn't even named on the bench. Gordon Lee was the
Who was he?
manager.
He
Yeah,
played for Everton then, weren't he? Yeah, of course he was.
yeah,
Trying to think who he was playing for, yeah.
yeah. Duncan Lee was
I mean,
Gordon Lee.
I didn't know him well, Gordon Lee, but I know he was like a sergeant major. He's never going to be a
Yeah,
Duncan type. But, when you look, when he went to Belgium, went to Anderlecht,
yeah,
and you got the Belgian players and the Dutch players
yeah,
all mesmerised by him,
yeah,
his talent.
yeah,
And yet, the English coaches have done nothing but criticise that type of player.
yeah. I mean,
That's what I want to say. When I say that's another way to get around all the negative side that what they wanted to put out.
yeah,
He's a maverick, not a team player. Over Duncan McKenzie, Frank Worthing, Alan Hudson, these type of players could all win a game on their own.
absolutely,
But you
100%.
need the other players to win your major trophies because it's a team game.
Yeah, yeah. But he was before he. I mean, he was pretty much sold to finance the deal to bring Tony Curry to Leeds United. I mean, imagine that, Tony Curry and Duncan McKenzie in the same team. I mean, you'd be in dreamland, wouldn't you? But he was
Yeah,
in.
but you say that, when you look at what happened to PSG, Neymar,
Yeah, yeah.
Mbappe, and what they call it, you said, well, it's great to have all them, but you need an elite manager to get that balance right.
Yeah.
Because if they can't work together, then it wouldn't happen.
No.
But if the great managers always try to get the balance right.
And I think that was the
try
problem.
And make it happen.
That was a problem.
And what I'm trying to say is, the English coaches don't seem to be able to do it. Again, I'll go back to Lampard and Gerrard, Rooney and all these have all played major honours, played at the highest level.
Yeah.
And I don't want to worry about, good players or great players don't make good managers. Well, I'm confident they do. You only got to listen to our coaches.
Yeah.
And they all speak the same way. They all coach the same way. But they all get the same results the same way.
Yeah. It's frightening, really, and it's quite understandable why we never actually win anything, and why our games really are
I'll
pretty
just
dull.
give you the answer.
Exactly.
Give you the answer why we don't
it is,
win.
yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
And it's not frightening. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I used the wrong word. It's annoying. It is bloody annoying. But, he was named for 3 consecutive seasons in the PFA Team of the Year at Forest when he was in the second division, moved to Leeds United. The 2 seasons he was at Leeds United, he was named in the PFA Team of the Year, and they still sold him. I mean, it's just incredible. Again, Alan always talks to me about management, and I think that Duncan's biggest problem was the fact that he didn't have decent managers in Gordon Lee and in Yeah, and Jimmy
The ones
Armfield.
he had, were all Sergeant Majors.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, unfortunately, Cloughy was he was the first player to sign for Brian Clough, and it's a shame Leeds, yeah, it's a shame that Brian only lasted 44 days because I think if Duncan McKenzie would have played his career under Brian Clough as he
They'd have
did
won
with
many
Dave
trophies.
Mackay, yeah, he loved Dave Mackay and Dave Mackay was good for Duncan McKenzie, but I'm kind of guessing that no other manager really was good for Duncan McKenzie, and similar with Alan Hudson. And I think that you can look at all our maverick kind of players or our players that have got flair and guile and skill, and managers really, by and large, didn't know how to fit them into a football team. Whereas you're right, on the continent they do, because their game is based on skill, flair, and guile.
I think that's an excuse that people will always use.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to fit them in.
I don't think they do. I don't think they still do.
Well, no. This is my honest opinion. I could be wrong, but I saw enough of it. The managers hated certain players.
Yeah, they do.
Having all the limelight
Yeah.
at these football clubs,
Mm.
and what they would do, they didn't like it. So those type of players wouldn't last long at those clubs.
No.
You know, but there'd be plenty of people what will turn around and say, "Oh, he's talking rubbish." Well, that's okay, but I won't be far wrong. I weren't far wrong what's happening into the world. I weren't far wrong what's happening with football.
And
so,
to be fair,
I'm not far wrong. Yeah, I'm not far wrong on what's happened with our. They're not Mavericks, with our great players.
You're absolutely spot on because you was one of them, and you lived and played during that time. You were in those dressing rooms, and
What I would say about me, injuries, regardless what anybody says about, I played for all the clubs on a regular basis. The only way when I didn't play was Everton at Forest.
Yeah.
Look where they were when I joined Perth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look what happened, right? And then look at the two major injuries I got.
100%.
So the teams went on to be successful. Other than that, I never had any problem with it. Regardless of what anybody thinks, I never had any problems with any manager.
Yeah.
What happened was when I got back fit, the teams were winning, and it's not like as though they changed the teams like they do today. The teams always stayed the same.
Yeah,
Leeds United, great Leeds United team, had 12, 13, 14, and the only time anybody came in is when anybody. Whereas nowadays, they will chop and change the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they rotate and they have big squads. As you say, in those days, they didn't have big squads. They didn't rotate, and pretty much the same 11 would play every week. Magic moments, what have you sourced for us over the since Christmas, really?
Well, there's been that many great goals since we've done this, our podcast. It's been frightening, but we say it every week. And I'm going to go, there's 2 goals I'm going for. The 2 goals were Josh Dinas, Josh Windass, Dinas. Josh Windass. I broke my palate and I'm waiting to have a new palate fix. That's why I sound a bit rough or funny when I'm speaking. Josh Windass is unbelievable. I mean, I analyse all goals when I look at that. It's an unbelievable goal, but it still had time to look up. It's still had no one challenging him, but it's a perfect goal, hasn't it?
Yeah,
and it's well further out than what Beckham's were.
Yeah,
it's an unbelievable goal. And the other one is in the same game. I forget what the lad's name now, the coloured lad, the black lad, flicked it over on side of his foot, and he scored an unbelievable goal. I mean, the 2 goals from Sheffield Wednesday were against my other old team, were Derby County.
Yes.
Unbelievable goals. We've had a few weeks off, but them's the 2 goals I'm going for.
Yeah, I must admit, I have got Super Josh from inside his half as one of my magic moments, because although there's been lots and lots of magic moments since, I did want to flag that up because it just was quite incredible the way he's took the ball and he's in the goal and he's just pinged it over the goalie's head. It's just a mark of absolute genius.
The hard part about all that is to get the direction right. And he got it 100% bang on. Yes, the keeper's out, and like I said, He's got nobody challenging, but he's got his body shape right. He's got the accuracy right, and he's got the power right for it to go bang. And what a goal it was!
Absolutely. While we're talking about Windass,
Yes, I
sad
know.
news
Yes,
about Dino,
about
isn't
his
it?
dad. Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Do you have much to do with Dean Windass, T?
No, don't forget. I'm 70.
Yeah.
What's he? 60?
Yeah, he's just a bit older than me, I think, Dean is.
58?
Dino.
58, 60,
I
something
would
like
have thought he's a little bit older than that, but he might not be. Yeah, he might
that.
be slightly younger
He's
than me.
probably played as I'm coming towards the end of my career.
Mm.
So no, never came across him.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played against him. I mean, I played against Bill a few times.
Yeah.
And that was his first was from Hull. So no, I can't remember much. I mean, I remember him playing, of course. I remember
Mm.
him, his great goal he got at Hull. So I do remember, but
Yeah.
I can't remember playing against him.
Yeah, great character of the modern age. So we do wish Dean Windass all the very best. I wanted to also flag up Savinio's wing play at Manchester City. I've been really impressed
Great
with
player.
this young lad. He looks an absolute star in the making, Savinio.
And by the way, he loves him, Guardiola, doesn't he? Because
He does.
they keep asking him about him and Grealish.
Well, you know me, I play Jack Grealish in the middle of the park because
No,
Grealish ain't a winger, but
no.
Savinio is.
How long have I been telling you about that?
Well, I mean, we've been saying it for years since I started doing podcasts with Uddy about Jack
I like you
Grealish.
playing there. Don't get me wrong.
Mm.
You play in the centre midfield, but you can go left or right.
Yeah,
Different
absolutely.
player altogether.
Again, that's where I play Jack. Jack is not a winger. As long as he's got an hole up his arse, he'll never be a winger. Savinio is. He doesn't. I don't think he tracks back as much as Pep Guardiola would like Savinio to. So without the ball, he ain't as good. But when he's got the ball, he's absolutely dynamic and superb.
That's why you have other qualities in your team,
Absolutely,
and that's
100%.
why you find the elite managers will
Yeah,
turn around and say, "Your job is not to stop the goals, it's to get me goals."
yeah,
That's what Kenny learns
yeah,
to do that job. That's why
100%.
elite managers are how they are.
Yeah. So, like, when you're defending corners, Savinio, piss off and get up the other end and cause
Yeah,
havoc in the other box, not our box. Wingers aren't great defenders, never have been, never will be. James McAtee's performance, yeah, I get it was only Salford City, yeah, it was the FA Cup, but I
yeah.
thought that kid was fantastic, James McAtee, and he scored a lovely
What a
hat trick.
goal! What a goal!
Yeah,
What a
lovely,
goal!
lovely.
He's
Yeah,
Patrick, but I mean, the one was concentrated in the top corner,
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah, he is.
They have some unbelievable youngins. I mean, when you look at it, the kid at Villa looks
Mm,
an unbelievable player. I know they let him go to Middlesbrough, and then they
yeah,
bought him from Middlesbrough.
yeah.
Palmer's gone. Palmer's gone to Chelsea.
Mm,
But like I said to my two lads, the problem is, Tom, they've got that many quality there,
yeah, absolutely.
and the reason why they're succeeding, is
Mm,
because they're playing first team football.
yeah, yeah.
You never. I watched Aston Villa last night on TV, under 23s.
Okay, they played Bradford, got beat, didn't they?
Yeah,
Mm.
right. And when you look at that, there's no senior players playing with them.
No, it was the under 23s, wasn't it?
What chance have they kids got to having no senior player in there
Yeah.
pulling him about, telling him what to do, when to make the run, how to make a run?
Yeah.
No wonder why these kids don't get into the first team half at time.
I know. The worst thing that they ever done in football was scrap the reserve league, the Central
Yes,
League, and the football
it's not helped
combination.
the players one little bit, that has it?
No, it's all part of the professional footballers' education, as you know. T, I know you didn't play that many reserve games yourself, but players have come back from injury. The young kids that have come through. I mean, I remember both Pat Howard, Brian Little.
When I played in reserves at Everton,
Yeah.
great senior pros in there,
Mm,
great senior pros.
yeah.
And I broke practically into Donny's first team straight away.
Mm,
But when I did play in training, because I got straight into first team training,
mm,
yeah, experience. the amount of information you pick up from
Yep.
experienced pros.
Mm.
I mean, I looked at Graham Moore, played at Man United, Welsh international.
Yep.
As an 18-year-old kid, you can't buy that
No.
experience, playing alongside those people.
No.
Sometimes they would frighten you to bloody death, don't get me wrong. I was strong enough to be able to handle all that, but some players can't.
Yeah.
That's the strength. What you learn when you're playing with those type of players, that you're not fearful of them, and that you're saying, well, I'm going to be on the same pitch as you.
Mm.
And when they look at you and think, well, this kid's got some character about him, and then they take to you and they learn you so much more.
Absolutely.
And that's what they're missing today, these under 23 teams.
Yeah, because they're only just playing. Kids are playing with kids. And it's going back to Brian Little and to Pat Howard, talking on the Legends of the 70s podcast, how integral it was, that dressing room, that first team dressing room, and playing reserve team football at Barnsley in Pat Howard's case. I think he come through the ranks, didn't he, at Barnsley? Yeah. And then Brian Little at Aston Villa. And he says to this day, Pat Crelland still ribs him because he thought he was a proper player, and he played against Pat Crelland, and Pat Crelland had him in his pocket.
Yeah.
And it is a learning curve, and I think that when you're playing under 23s football, you're not learning from those seasoned pros. But that's the way the game is these days. Absolutely ridiculous. And I thought Ivanovic's goal for Millwall got a touch of the Currans about it. Kid's on the floor and he's headed it in. Straight away, I thought of you when he headed that ball in. The only difference is you went round the goal, he got down on your hands and knees and then headed
in. I stopped the ball on the goal line.
Exactly.
Right? Because I used to talk to Andy McCullough. Well, I used to talk to Andy McCullough. I was talking to Andy McCullough. But Andy McCullough would say to me, what are you going to do today if you score a goal? I said, I'm going to stop the ball on the goal line. It's only because I had a bollocking.
Yeah.
The week before, I think I'd done it in training.
Yeah.
I'd done it in training. And I was going to do it when I got the chance. And I thought about it. If you put YouTube on, you saw me walking the ball into net against Chester.
Yeah.
Ian Rush played in that game.
Yeah, he did.
In that game. And another famous name played in that game. We weren't a famous football, but we were a famous name because it was a murderer, Peter Sutcliffe. Chester had a player called Peter Sutcliffe played for them that game.
There's a story about that when the Ripper was caught, wasn't there, with you?
When I stopped the ball, I walked the ball into net and I was going to stop it.
Yeah.
But I just got a bollocking in midweek in training, and that's the reason why I didn't do it. And then the following season, I did it against Derby County, and I remember Jack running down time. He's going to kick me. He's going to knock me head off when I got into the dressing room. So, and yes, there were. And we know that story anyway, don't we?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do. We're going to move on from the Peter Sutcliffe story when he got caught the night the Ripper got caught. But, just one or two things I just want to clear up. Stuart Pearce, when he was talking about the WSL overtaking the Premier League, I thought he's had a little bit too many sherbets over the Christmas break.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, dear
no, he
God.
hasn't.
Not he said it with such sincerity.
No, yeah, because you know why?
Because he has to.
Right. Yeah. So it's not to be having a drink. No, exactly. They get paid to push propaganda.
Of course they do.
Him and Gary Lineker. Mm. Now, people won't say it, but I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered what people think because that's what they do. Stuart Pearce has been a great player for England, been a great player for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
He's been a failure as a manager.
Yep.
Right? That's what anybody says.
Yeah, it was.
Right? But he will say things because that's what the globalists want him to say. It's nothing to do with that. It's called money. Money.
There's
and talk. That's why they do it.
There's talk and speculation in the WSL, the Women's Super League, of Celtic and Rangers going in there. Now, let's hold that thought for a minute. I thought these birds were all about equality. They want equality. Well, okay, equality works both ways. It has to, because if it doesn't, it ain't equality. So if Celtic and Rangers can play in the WSL, why the hell can't Celtic and Rangers play in the Premier League?
Gabby, you know what they will do any
Yep.
mortal thing to
Mm.
make these women. I did like
Yep.
the women. I stopped watching because of woke,
Yeah, and me.
right?
Yeah.
Listen, the
Mm.
women's league is struggling.
Mm. It is, yeah.
They're not tell, they're not telling you the truth.
No, they never have done. It's dying on
They're
its
not telling you
arse.
the truth.
No.
It's struggling,
Mm.
right? There's a lot of these Premier teams cannot afford the women's team. They cannot afford it.
No, they can't. And I'll tell you another thing as well, T. With all these new things
it
that's
it's all
coming
going.
in,
Go on.
yeah, you know, with all the new things, you know, the likes of the Gary Nevilles of this world that are bringing in the arbitrators, for the want of a better word. I can't remember what these people are, but they're coming in to make sure there's equality, there's balance, that the money gets filtered down from the Premier League, etc., etc. It will be to the detriment of the women's game, because the Premier League teams will say, all right, if we've got to pay this and we've got to have that coming down to championship clubs, etc., etc., we can't afford to have a women's football club at this club now. So what we'll do, we're just going to sell the
They'll
football
keep
club,
like
and you'll be on
they'll
your own.
keep they
Yeah.
keep like they keep lying to
Mm.
cover things up.
Yeah.
The women's football Premier League
Mm.
is struggling.
Absolutely.
It's
So
struggling.
so watch this space.
The top 3 or 4 teams in that league are okay because of the money what's coming
Yeah.
uh, from the Premier League teams.
Mm.
The other teams can't afford it,
Yeah. No,
and it's been
absolutely.
covered up. It's just been
Absolutely.
covered up. I'll tell you all
Mm.
what's happening.
Mm. 100%. So I think, again, watch this space going forward. Football, we've been saying this for a long time on the podcast. Football is at a crossroads, and it's going to be unrecognisable for the next generation, because there's a lot of things that's
Everything,
happening.
everything. When you look at it,
Mm.
they do not want the working class in the football
Nah,
stadiums.
ain't won it for years.
They want it's got to be. They want it for corporate,
Absolutely.
right? And the tourists,
Oh, 100%. You look at the
right?
ticket pricing for a start.
That's why
Mm.
when you analyze everything what's happened to the world,
Yep.
it's to take away the superpower from America
Mm.
and Britain,
Yep.
right? But what happens then when China overtakes everything?
Mm.
You know, everything about it. Well, it will change because Trump gets inaugurated on the 20th of March, and then we're going to see what really happens then to the world. But
Is he going to get
we
inaugurated
have,
on your birthday?
you know, January, isn't it? My birthday's on 20th of
I
March.
thought you just said that he's getting inaugurated on the 20th of March.
No,
Oh,
January.
January.
Next on Monday.
Oh,
On
okay.
Monday. So
Oh,
then
right.
we know everything. We'll know more than to what's going to happen to the world and what's happening.
I thought it was
But
going to be
we
very
are
nice doing it on
losing.
your birthday.
We are losing the beautiful game of football. What belongs
Here we are.
to all of us,
Mm.
and we are losing it. And I disagree with you, thinking that by having these big tournaments in big clubs joining throughout the world,
Mm.
right? It's like Barcelona and Real Madrid played that Super Cup
Yep.
in Abu Dhabi, wherever it was,
Yeah, I
or
can't remember they played
the
it, but
Far
it
East,
was,
one of
yeah, it was
them
abroad,
Arab
yeah.
countries, weren't it?
Yeah.
You know, what did the Europeans see on that? You had to buy it to be able to see it somewhere, hadn't you? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. They're going to be. It's not going to be long.
It's not football's not going to be the same like it used to be.
No,
I guarantee you.
we have said this for a long time on our podcast, T. It's not going to be long till you see Premier League games of football played abroad. But I think, first of all, you will see FA Cup games played abroad when you've got the big teams there. Maybe the FA Cup final, for instance, instead of playing at Wembley, playing in Miami or playing in New York. But I think it is only a few years away. It may be as many as 10, it may be even 20, but a time is going to come, because the Spanish have already started international games. We used to see if you was at, say, for instance, Argentina, you're playing a home game, you'd have to play in Argentina. Colombia, England, whoever. Your home game was played in your own country. We've seen lots of foreign national, international games in London, and it's all changing.
What I would like to see is not the Premier League change, is the European Cup change.
I would have liked to go back to cups.
Make that a super cup type of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see.
Well, I mean, the Super League is the Super League at the moment. I know they call it the Champions League, but it is pretty much the Super League. If you're going to run
but I'm talking about then, especially the Brazilian teams, especially the Argentine teams,
absolutely,
competition. Well, and leave the Premier League alone.
But this is what is happening at the moment because it's the first club World Cup in America. I think it's this Christmas time, isn't it? Where all the big clubs are going head to head. And as soon as they've started doing that, and if it's successful and they've got broadcasting rights, which they have, they're going to want more. More always wants more. The more money that they earn, the more money that they want. So, again, that is going to come into the football calendar. Again, I'll go back. Football is going to change.
Always.
Yeah.
Listen, Gabby, how long have we been saying that's going to change?
We've been saying it since we started the podcast.
Man United are struggling like mad.
Yep, 100%.
Who spent most money?
Yeah, Man United. Man United.
Like, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it just baffles. FA Cup replays, very unfortunate for Tamworth, took Tottenham all the way to extra time. I do think that it should have gone to a replay. I think if you're not going to go to a replay, I don't think you should have extra time because extra time absolutely killed Tamworth. And then Tottenham put the big hitters on and smashed them by 3-0. But I do think that in the third round and the fourth round of the FA Cup in particular, there should be replays. I would like them to see replays throughout the tournament. But I just do not get no replays in the FA Cup in the third round. I think it's an absolute disgrace.
Because to play that many games, the Premier League play that many games in the Champions League.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm glad you said that.
That's all the excuses.
Yeah. But we never hear that, do we?
They play too many games in the league competitions, right? But they don't get overplayed.
We
play for the Champions League, do
they? Domestic football now, players play less domestic football than they have ever played.
Ever done.
Ever. We don't hear any of that. They play more European football, and that's what's killing the calendar. But you never, ever hear a manager ever saying they play too many games in Europe. We play less games in the league now and in the cups. Our players play less domestic games. So all we're doing is penalising the smaller clubs and the majority of players for the elite few. So my opinion is, if you want your Super League, bugger off, go and have it. Leave our competitions as they have been for over 100 years. So if you want your Super League, crack on and have it, but leave our national game alone. Will they? No, because it's all about money. And sadly, money rules. Young versus young. I know that was quite topical in the FA Cup as Everton beat Peterborough. I couldn't believe that they were about it. The manager is there to manage a football club. Would I have brought the young lad on? No, I wouldn't. I don't think there's any space and place in football for sentiment. And if you want to be sentimental, go and do something else other than football.
I'm not going to be behind the bush about anything here.
Yeah.
I played at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
We had a player called Roger Wilde, a great player.
Yes.
Scored goals for fun.
Yeah.
Right. And he was on the bench one day, and the fans were chanting for him to come on. Afterwards, I was with Jack, and Jack said to Morris Setters, he will never be on bench again in Roger Wilde.
Yeah.
Right? That's because the fans were chanting for him. You know as well as I would.
Yeah.
Everton had got him young on bench. And Peterborough got his son on bench.
Yeah.
Right? You know everybody's going to be crying for it. That's, why should it happen? It's only going to happen if they're both in team together.
Absolutely.
Other than that, it's not an history making.
No.
Because it's been planted.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a plan for it to happen.
Planted by the
Now,
media.
Ferguson, if he was not going to put him on, he knows he's going to get all that stick for it. Right? You know, the next game, he's not even in his squad.
No, exactly.
So work that out.
I know. I mean, really, again, you're absolutely spot on with Jack. He ain't even going to be on the bench. So, if the kid's not usually on the bench, don't put him on the bench just because his dad's playing and it's an FA Cup game, because you're making a rod.
And I may put him on. I may put him on. And all that's done, it's caused a lot of controversy.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's brought a lot of pressure on himself.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sure he can handle it. He can handle it. But it's unnecessary pressure for him to put on. Not only himself, but the club and the team.
Yeah, 100%. Again, it's a media thing that the media, as soon as they come out, young versus young, and I just think, you make a rod for your own back. Just douse it straight away. Don't fan the fire. Don't even take the lad. You ain't got a problem. There ain't an issue there. And we just move on. We carry on to the next round. Moisey's back at Everton. I don't see that as a forward move for the Toffee men, be quite truthful. But, it is what it is, ain't it?
Tottenham's beating Arsenal, by the way.
Are they really? I'm watching the Villa game. Villa have missed a hat full of chances. Villa will probably get beat because Everton have been poor, haven't really laid a glove on Villa. Villa have missed some decent chances.
First 15 minutes before I've come into it, because obviously I can't talk in it because Tom's watching match and it's going to be with noise with television, so I have to do it in bedroom here. But what bit I saw, they missed three bloody great chances.
Yeah, they have.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, Villa could have on another day been probably 3 or 4 goals up by now.
We'll get a lot of. It's the word I'm looking for.
Well, you know what happens. You end up ruining the chances.
We'll get a load of bull about. Give me time till I get my players in, and then it'll be. We've got no money to spend. Well, what could anybody else do? So I mean, we're talking about a massive football club in heaven,
Oh, 100%.
Massive.
And if they do beat Villa, say, for instance, to get a penalty or something, beat them 1-0, it'll be Moyes' saviour. What a great, and like, I'm watching the game, they've absolutely been outplayed. They ain't laid a glove on the Villa. And that unfortunately, is the way that our media work. I just think the worst media that I've ever seen. They're a complete bunch of tools. What I did like, though, was the Tamworth fans. Our Villa have just taken the lead 1-0, Ollie Watkins. Ange Postecoglou at Tamworth, when the Tamworth fans are singing, "You're getting sacked in the morning," and Ange looking at him and he thinking, fair play. I like Ange Postecoglou. I really like. I mean, when he went into that rage with again them media idiots, I'd love them to just drop the mic and walk out, do a Gordon Strachan on them or a Big Ron, because they have all week to ask a question. And if that's the best you can ask in a week, I'm sorry, I'm not staying round to listen to that rubbish.
Do you think they're that stupid to ask that question? Do you think that, or do you think the question's asked to cause that type of controversy?
No, I just think it's asked to cause that kind of controversy because that's what the media are. They're a load of arseholes, basically.
Gone as the day where you go down a pub, and I've never one for going down a pub because I'm not a beer drinker. But when I was young, I went in them, and people would talk about, "Did you see Billy Bremner? So and so, what a great player! So and so,
yeah."
So all they talk about now is stats. And,
I know it does me head in. VAR, stats, etc. We don't do that.
When they are finished, Ronaldo and Messi. Will there be another generation? Because we keep hearing there'll never be another George Best or Pelé or Cruyff, and then you get these, and then there'll never be another replace them. But maybe so this time because it's gone where majority now is just pass sideward, pass backward.
Yeah, it is.
Pass, isn't it?
Yeah, I look at the most passes completed in the Premier League. And, they're all from defenders. And Oddy always says this, if your defenders are seeing more of the ball than your better players, you've got a problem. And he said that to one of the Chelsea fans when he was at Chelsea. I think they might have been playing Bournemouth and now went there. It was maybe not last season, but the season before. And he said, your problem is here at Chelsea, your defenders are having more of the ball than your forward players, and that is a big problem. And if you look at the passes completed, that's the way it is with the defenders. And that's the modern game. I think it's boring, but
Arsenal just equalised. Yeah, but I said, ex-players said about Guardiola. No, Guardiola hasn't ruined the football. The coaches, the other team's coaches have ruined the football by defensive-minded play.
Absolutely.
End of.
Absolutely.
End of. I watched Forest play Liverpool last night, and I'm not going to kid myself. I'm obviously so pleased for Forest because obviously I was soft spot for Forest.
Yeah.
Liverpool in the last 10 minutes could have won 3 or 4.
No, absolutely battered them, didn't they?
But what a great season they're having. They play some good football. This Forest.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah,
and, first half they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I look at it, they've got themselves bedded in now in the Premier League. The team's playing with a lot of confidence. They play with a great tempo to it. Even the counter-attacking is playing with a great tempo.
Yeah.
And they look a very good team. And once you start to win, players start to believe in themselves.
Absolutely.
So it's to you as a coach, you think, well, we're playing Man City, so what?
Yeah.
Let's try and beat them. Try and find a way to beat them.
But I think when managers and coaches have tried to find a way of beating them recently, they have beaten them. And we've always maintained this on the podcast. If you're playing against Man City, you're playing against whoever to, go out and try and win a game of football. Do you know what? You might actually win. And that's what teams have done, won games of football because they've been bold, they've been brave, and they've had a go. If you sit back and roll over and you have your tummy tickled like my cat, you ain't going to win you ain't going to win nothing. Welsh clubs in the Welsh Cup. I mean, what's all this nonsense about? I don't understand it. I mean, Wrexham used to play in the European leagues because they'd win the Welsh Cup. I mean, Stourbridge and Kidderminster have won the Welsh Cup. I mean, I live about 5 miles away from Stourbridge. It's nowhere near bloody Wales. So, I mean, I just don't get what all these theories about.
How come they're being allowed to play in it?
Well, why can't they? They're Welsh, aren't they?
I don't. Who are?
Wrexham.
No, I thought
Swansea.
Yeah,
I know. I mean,
another team. I'm not forgetting Swansea and Wrexham and all that.
How does Stourbridge play in the Welsh Cup? I don't know. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. How are they? Why are they allowed to play in it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they are. I don't think they are now in it. But I looked at the Welsh Cup and the history of the Welsh Cup, and looked at the winners of the Welsh Cup, and Kidderminster and Stourbridge are in there as former winners of the Welsh Cup. And I looked at that and I thought, how the bloody hell are they in it?
Why don't Cardiff and Swansea play in it? Because it's an easy route to get into Champions League or European League.
And they've always done that before, haven't they? Particularly when the winner. I mean, I know that European football's different now, and I guess that's what the problem is. But in the old days, in the 70s, they'd play in the Welsh Cup. You'd win the Welsh Cup, and you'd be in the Cup Winners' Cup. So you'd be in Europe. Now we ain't got the Cup Winners' Cup. So I get all that. It's league positions now, and they're not actually in the League of Wales. So how can they get in there?
Can you tell me a team? What gets knocked out at FA Cup?
Yeah.
Right? And just struggling in the league by not playing as many games by getting knocked out at FA Cup. Stay up. Can you name me any teams?
Sorry, what was that again? Repeat it again.
What I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
The FA Cup now has lost all its attraction.
Absolutely. They keep playing reserve teams.
We don't want to play in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Because we want to try and save us.
Concentrate on the Premier League, yeah, absolutely.
Premier League. Well, tell me a team what's gone out to FA Cup early, what's struggling in the Premier League or struggling in any league to playing in, and stayed up by not playing as many games, by getting knocked out of FA Cup. Because I can't name any.
It don't happen, does it? It's ridiculous.
No. It's another lie they're telling the public. Yeah, the public believe it. I can't believe how brainwashed they get.
But even Championship teams now don't play strong teams in the FA Cup. Exactly.
Arsenal have gone 2-1 up now.
Blimey. I mean, even League One teams, some of them, they'll drop players. Well, I mean, Birmingham, they'll drop players for the FA Cup because they've got other games in.
Please please,
you just think, oh, come on.
don't think I'm having a go at Sheffield United because I'm not as a fan. What criticises other supporters and other teams.
Absolutely, same here.
Right, but what I will say, Sheffield United played Cardiff.
Yeah.
There's 8,000 people there. Right? You would have broke your neck to go watch an FA Cup match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever your team were playing, broke your neck.
Yeah.
Right? And they go and play. And I like Chris Wilde as a person. They go and play a weakened team. Yeah. It's so boring that you think it's not even worth watching.
No, and that's why there's only 8,000 fans. I know. I don't get it, T. I really don't get it. You know, the FA Cup, there's magic in the cup, but they're trying to just erase all that magic.
It's gone. That magic's gone.
No, I think it has too. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. You know, substandard teams, low crowds. I mean, what they could do and what they should do, I think, all football clubs for the first round that they play, like with Sheffield United, they get a home tie in the third round. I think you've got season ticket holders there. You should give them a free FA Cup ticket. You know, I think that the price of football now has gone ridiculous.
By the way, I don't think fans would turn up anyway. I mean,
they may not, but it just shows where football is at the moment.
My opinion, they wouldn't turn up. No. You know, you'll get the 8,000, the 6 or 7, 10,000 type of thing. Will go, but they'll not, because they think, well, it's not. They're playing a weakened team.
Yeah.
They're not bothered about it. So I think that's how people have got.
I think a lot of them have, yeah.
When we were kids, Gabby, we used to be excited about that draw on a Monday at 12 o'clock.
Absolutely, 100%.
You get to radio.
FA Cup third round draw. Come on, who we got?
I know things changes, but I still don't think it would make it more exciting, make it more popular again if you give tickets away. I really don't.
You're probably right, too. But unfortunately, is the way it is. Yeah,
the only way that's going to come back if the corporate want to make it popular and make money from it.
I mean, you did mention Arsenal have just gone 2-1 up against Tottenham. Have you seen Sol Campbell's advert?
No, I've not. I don't watch TV itself. I watch YouTube.
I saw it on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube. It's basically, I think it's Google Pixel, and it's about changing colours, etc., and changing things. And he comes in with a white top on, talking about like colours and changing colours. There's not a problem with changing colours. Why wait another year to change? Because nothing's ever going to change in essence. So you might as well change from white to red. And it's like it's just so. I mean, it's so fun. It's so satirical, but it's serious. And that must have wound a lot of Spurs fans.
I was going to say to you, I can see the funny side of it.
I can, yeah.
Right.
But fans can't, can they?
You know that I made a song and they wanted me to sing the Wednesday Win United Lose.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not singing that. Alan Wood, who wanted me to make the record, who did the record, and you know, he said, because of the Boxing Day massacre, the Wednesday Win United, the one has, and I refused to sing that on it. And I'm a massive Wednesday fan.
Yeah.
But I know the contract. You're going to say, well, why did you join them? Well, the contract was up.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to play for someone. You got to be paid by someone.
Was up, and yes, I could have gone to I could have gone to Newcastle. I could have gone to other clubs.
I'd have gone to anyone. It's money. It's my game.
But at the end of the day, you know, I'd have stayed at Sheffield Wednesday for less, because for what they gave me and what Wednesday were offering me, all I wanted them was to pay the tax on the £11,000, and I stopped at Sheffield Wednesday.
Exactly, and Reg decided that he'd do that for you, didn't he? And that's why you went.
But again, at the end of the day, so what I'm trying to say is, I don't like to see the controversy side of it because it does cause a lot of friction.
Yeah, it does. But ultimately, you're a professional footballer. You're earning money, and it's just the way it is. And sometimes fans should take it with a pinch of salt. But unfortunately, you know what football fans are like. They don't, because they're just so damn biased. Legends of the Lounge.
By the way, before you finish, I think he will get a lot of stick from this first one.
100%. I wouldn't be booking me seat in the Tottenham Hotspur stand anytime soon if I'm Sol Campbell. Legends of the 70s Lounge, Duncan McKenzie, born on the 10th of June 1950 in Grimsby, joined Forest 69 to 74, played 111, league games, scoring 41 goals. He was on loan at Mansfield for a short time until Dave
Yes, he
Mackay.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Mackay called him back. Scored 3 goals in 10 league games for Mansfield. And Leeds United 74 to 76. 27 league goals in 66 games. So he was in the 2 league, PFA Team of the Year twice in them 2 seasons at Leeds, and they still sold him. Went to Anderlecht. He's got 9 league games, scoring twice. I mean, he wasn't there that long. He was only there for a short period, but it was for family reasons that Duncan come back to England. So he signed for Everton in 76, 78, 14 league goals in 48 games, and then moved to Chelsea 78, 79, scoring 4 in 15, and then moved down the league a little bit in 79, 81. Got
To
promoted with
Blackburn.
Blackburn Rovers, scoring 16 in 74. Played over in America for Tulsa Roughnecks, sorry, and Chicago Sting, and had a brief little spell in Hong Kong as well. The great Duncan McKenzie. We will be doing a podcast with Duncan, so watch this space for more
I
details,
can't wait
guys.
to listen to that. I can't wait to listen to
Book
that.
corner, we got Barry Silky's book, The Not So Secret Football Agent, Memoirs of Barry Silkman, which is out on the 23rd of the 1st. So what are we now? Now we're the 15th, so it's out in 8 days' time. Silky has got a Facebook page. So if you go on to Facebook and source it out, he's starting to do 1 or 2 little teasers regarding his book. So there's a little bit of action on
It'll go
Silkman's.
well, that book.
Yeah, he will.
It'll
I
go
mean,
well.
he tells. I mean, I've done a couple of podcasts with Barry in the past. He tells a great story. He's so funny. We have got 1 or 2 things, so we're going to put it out from our end as well to help promote the book. Book number 2 in a trio of books in Book Corner. The Last Fancy Dan, the Duncan McKenzie story with David Safer. David's wrote many a book on Leeds United, and he's wrote this one, The Last Fancy Dan, with Duncan McKenzie, the story of the great Duncan McKenzie. I've almost read it. But it's a great read. Lovely picture of Duncan on the front with Arthur Albiston and Manchester United on the floor. And on the back, it's Paul Reaney's testimonial where he jumps over that Mini. It's quite incredible. He jumped over many a car in his time, but never in front of 12,000 fans. So a great book there, The
Yeah,
Last Fancy Dan.
it's a game, isn't it?
Yeah, he did. It was
Half
Paul.
time, I think it was.
It was Paul Reaney's testimonial. Paul had
Is that what
says,
it was?
I want you to jump over the car, and there's 12,000 fans there. And Duncan said in his book, he's quite nervous because he jumped over. I mean, he does say on the after dinner circuit that he'd earned more money in his football career in the early days jumping over Jaguars and Minis and throwing golf balls over stands than actually what he'd earned playing football. But he'd never done that before in front of 12,000 fans. But
Incredible.
an absolute
Incredible.
talent, a genius, a
People didn't think he
legend.
could do it, and then when he went and did it, they couldn't believe it.
No, he used to jump over turnstiles and all
Yeah.
stuff, Duncan. But when he was at school, he was a high jumper and a pole vaulter. He was really good at jumping. So I don't know if he's got like any kangaroo in his blood.
He
I
got
don't know.
no, he got great balance, and
Oh, yeah,
people like him who's got that great balance. They would try to do certain different things. The things that people think that you couldn't do,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
and then he'd get pushed, and then he'd go and push himself and say, right, I'll show you I can do it.
And again, timing and technique.
Yeah.
So great book, The Last Fancy Dan. And the Cup, a pictorial celebration of the world's greatest football tournament. I've also got that in my library by Richard Whitehead. And I've done a podcast a couple of years ago with Richard when the book came out to celebrate the 150 years of the FA Cup. And that's on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast from. You can access it and listen to that and buy his book and read about the FA Cup. So your next book, TC, talking about books, I did see the interaction with John Brinley today. Part 3, you're going to go and have a drink and a chat.
Oh no, we're just joking about it.
Is it going to be called
You,
Steady Away, Ted?
Nah, listen, I'm going to bet. If I ever do another one, I'm going to bet a name for it. Than that. Don't worry about that.
I think that'd be a great name for your book, Steady Away. TC, we do come to the end of the podcast. I can hear the vacuum firing
Yeah,
up.
it flies by this hour, doesn't it?
Oh, don't it just? Last time out, I did win the. It was before Christmas. I won 3-4. I got a hit Luton versus Derby. You did get a hit with Wednesday and Stoke, but I also correctly forecast the the Wednesday and Stoke score. So
You covered me, didn't
I
you?
did win 3-4. So it's 4-7 to me. You can go first. This week we've got games on Saturday and Sunday. We've also got the Welsh Derby. We did talk about Wales earlier in the podcast, but Cardiff are playing Swansea this Saturday, so that promises to be a feisty game. There's no yards given and no love lost in that encounter. But for you, Derby County versus Watford, how do you see that one going? And well done to Kitch and Orient
Yeah,
knocking out Derby in the FA Cup. So let's hope that they can knock out the mighty Man City in the next round.
I'm going to go for 2-0 Derby.
2-0 to Derby. I'm going to go for a 1-1. Blackpool versus Huddersfield. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 0-0 there. How do you see it going? Huddersfield are on a little bit
I'm
of a
going to
roll
be.
of late,
I'm
aren't
going to
they?
be. It's your pick, but it's not. You're not picking my brain.
No, you went first, so I've gone 0-0. What do you reckon to this
Oh,
one?
sorry. I thought you said. What do I think? Sorry.
Yeah,
You went 0-0.
I've gone 0-0. Yeah,
I'm going to go 2-1 Huddersfield.
2-1 to Huddersfield, and away win. Gillingham versus Donna, your shout. How do you see that? A bit of a travel, that is, isn't it?
Every
Gillingham.
time I pick Doncaster, they get beat. So I like Doncaster to win. So I'm going for a 1-0 Gillingham.
1-0 Gillingham. I'm going to go 2-1 to Doncaster. Then
So I
on
hope you win.
yeah, then on Sunday we've got Everton versus Spurs, which is my go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1-1. Yeah,
I'm going to
so
go
many.
2-0 Tottenham.
Yeah, so many Premier League games end in draws. You know,
Yeah.
that was a decent
It's
game last night.
unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Brentford and Man City. That was played at some pace, far quicker than this one, Everton versus the Villa that I'm
I can't
watching.
believe that. Tottenham, Man City 2-0 up and Brentford gained a draw.
Incredible. I'll tell you what, though, Brentford have got some pace in their team. I'd never write Brentford off, same
I
as
tell you what,
Bournemouth.
they didn't have pace against Plymouth.
No,
And I know they played a weak team. I know
yeah, I
that.
know. Again, it's as we've alluded to, or have you alluded to, the FA Cup. It really is. It's almost like a testimonial game for some of these clubs now, sadly. But there you go. What can you do about it? Forest versus Everton. Sorry, we've done Everton versus Spurs. Forest versus Saints. I'm gonna go. Oh, no, it's your go to. Gabby.
2-0,
Gabby. Yeah.
2-0, Forest, sorry.
2-0 Forest, yeah. I'm going to go 3-0 Forest. Looking great value, particularly at the City ground. And the atmosphere there is frightening at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
fantastic.
and finally, game of the day on Sunday, Leeds United versus Wednesday. Go on, we'll let you go on this one.
Is it my go?
Well, if it's not, it is. It's your club.
No, you pick first.
Hold on. You went, so
I'm
that
going to see
was
how you're going to go.
T.
I'm going to see how
Gabby
you
T.
go.
Yeah, it
Come
is
on.
my go. I'm going to go Leeds United 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Going to go for a Desmond. I'm going to sit on the fence. I think it's going to be a cracking game. Two decent
I think
teams.
Leeds United are a stronger team.
Yeah, I do.
But I'm pleased the job Roll's doing.
Mm,
Danny Roll's doing. I am pleased with what he's doing. I'm going to hope for a 1-1 draw.
1-1. So I'm going 2-2 and you're going 1-1.
But I do fancy Leeds to beat us.
Leeds do
But
let you in, though, don't they?
that's just me being honest about it.
Yeah.
But we are capable. I mean, he's capable of getting any type of result is Danny Roll. We guarantee you.
And they're going to be backed by a massive away following. And again,
Unbelievable.
what is it good? I mean, I haven't
But I
put the
will say
kick-off
this.
time.
I will say this. Leeds is fantastic. When that's full and they get behind their team, that's another fantastic stadium to play
Oh,
at or to play in.
yeah, I would think that there's very few that can match Ellen Road when it's packed and it's raucous as it is. In fact, Eddie Gray, when I done a podcast with Eddie said to me, I've never seen Ellen Road like it. The atmosphere at the moment there is quite phenomenal. So and Leeds are a top side who I do think are going to get automatic promotion, but I do think with a massive Wednesday following, big Yorkshire derby, I think the game's going to probably
can happen in derbies.
It can, and I think it's going to be an early kickoff, isn't it? I didn't put the kickoff time down, but when the game kicks off at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, it ain't your usual 3 o'clock kickoff there.
No,
Massive
no, it's
away
usually a
following.
draw. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's got all the markings of of a draw there.
a draw.
Blimey, this was
Yeah.
nearly a draw. Everton got a corner. Typical. Oh, blimey. It's almost like a typical Sean Dyche team, this is. But I don't think it's going to be very much different with Davy Moyes.
TC, when you rely on free kicks and corners, good luck.
Well, yeah, and that's what they do, don't they?
And that's what them type of managers do.
Absolutely. TC, love to you and yours.
Sorry.
Thanks for your time, sir. And we will reconvene.
Yes.
Next week. All being
okay,
well.
Speak to you later.
Cheers, Bobcat. And thanks for listening, guys. Try it. Bye.